Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon, beta. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
So today we will start with the seventh chapter of your political science, and that is called as federalism. That's called as federalism. So before heading towards basically how the federalism works or whatever it is, I want to tell you that what is basically federalism. What is the meaning of federalism, right? So I want you to write it down that federalism is a system of government. Write it out. I want everybody to write this out, that federalism is a system of government in which entities such as states or provinces share power with the national government. Federalism is a system of government. Federalism is a system of government in which entities such as states or provinces share power with the national government. Okay, so that is federalism. Okay, now you have a example of many states, many countries rather, right? Especially you know that when we talk about USSR, right? We know USSR was a big superpower. And what happened slowly and steadily in 1991 onwards, this disintegrated, and then it broke off into 15 countries. USSR broke off into 15 countries, and USSR was such a superpower. It was, it was called one of the blocks, right? Who were that one block was of USA, the other was of USSR. They were in equal terms, and they were called as superpowers. And slowly, what happened about the superpowers? Because it could not handle federalism properly. It could not handle federalism properly, and how it disintegrated into 15 small countries. Now Russia is one of the country, Latvia is one of the country, Uzbekistan is one of the country. So these were all part of USSR. So federalism means when these small countries or states come under one umbrella and makes one country, right? That is called federalism, where there is a center government as well as state government. That is called as federalism. Okay, that is called as federalism. If you don't have a strong center, what happens? The countries break down like USSR. The countries break down like USSR. In our country also, it was the after the partition, like after we got independence and partition with Pakistan, and then when our country came into 1947, when it had to start its own political journey. So it had decided what kind of a government should we have. It was not easy for us to take up democracy. It was not easy to take up democracy, because we had democracy in the sense that, but our what our background of freedom struggle was so strong that we had to respect different religions, different regions, different languages, and that could have been done just by making democracy as state politics, right? So that government, many countries of the world, when they got decolonized, when they got independence, when they started thinking about having a government of their own, they never opted for democracy. They said democracy would be too difficult to handle, where the people, a common man, is given the charge to make law. It won't be that difficult. It will be very difficult. So what did they decide? They decided upon that we will have non-democratic government. I'm talking about other countries, not India. Many of the countries, they decided upon having a non-democratic government, or one party system, or army rule, or anything. And then they said, when everything is settled, everything comes to the I mean, to its own place, falls into its own place, and then we will convert into democracy. And then what happened? Slowly and steady, many of the countries, they didn't give up the type of government they had adopted, right? If they had adopted army rule, if they had adopted one party system, or whatever it is, because it was so difficult to adopt to democracy. But what India decided, so when India became independence, its constituent assembly beforehand only started working on democracy. It was beforehand only decided that we are going to have democracy in our state, right? Now, which kind of democracy? They said we want to have a federal kind of a government. Federal kind of a government. Why federal kind of a government? Because they said that our country is a country of vast diversity. Okay, our country is a country of vast diversities, and so they said that vast diversity means the development cannot be so easy in easy and equally in all the states. It cannot be developed in the remotest of the states. The development cannot reach there. So for that purpose, we need to have federal government. Now, what is a federal government? What is a federal government? Federal government means where there is a government, a central government, as well as a government in the state. Okay, as well as government in the state. So we have a federal structure. India has a federal structure. We have a government at the state level and government at the center level, right? And these are independent, not fully, but it has a quite lot of independence. We can say autonomous body. They get the some subjects to make laws, and there are some subjects which center makes law. So they say that now you have to understand that democracy, I mean federalism, what is the basically federalism is, it has uh, the theory of federalism. First, it accommodates two sets of politics. It accommodates two sets of politics. Two sets of politics means what? There is two sets of politics: politics at the center level, politics at the state level. Now, politics at the center level, it can be BJP government. But politics at the center level, maybe it can be AAP government, it can be NC government, it can be PDP government. So person has to face two kind of government, right? It is not essentially that in center also it is Congress, in state also it is Congress. It is not like that. It depends. So they have to face both. There are two sets of politics going on simultaneously. That is federalism. Irrespective of which government is there in the center, irrespective of which government is there in the state, it can be separate identities. The second thing it says, people have two sets of identities. They follow two ideologies, two sets of identity. In one set it says that we are an Indian. We follow the Indian government, right? We follow an Indian government, and we follow an Indian government in the sense that I believe in the ideology of BJP because it is a central government, right? And then I'm a patriotic, I'm a truthful Indian. So whatever rules and regulation is made by the state government, I follow that earnestly. So I leave two identities. One identity of two sets of identity means my loyalties have two sets of identities. My loyalty in the center as a government head, I believe in the government who is there in the center. I follow blindfoldedly, I follow them. I don't say that, okay, I belong to this particular state and this particular state has a Congress government, so I don't believe in BJP. If center government में BJP है, I don't follow. No, you have to be loyal to the both and that's why you leave two identities in a federal structure. People leave two identities. See, now in Jammu Kashmir, we were following PDP government. We were following their manifesto. We were following their ideologies, right? We were following their ideologies. We were not anti-social elements. We were the people who were following everything what PDP our NC government worked on, right? On the other hand, in central government, it is Modi and BJP. So our country's government is BJP. So we are following their manifesto, their ideology, and their rules and regulations. Everything we are following. So federal government, federal structure, people have two identities, and the basic beauty of this thing is that we are loyal towards both the identities. We are loyal towards both the identities. Okay, that's why we are united, the federal structure where the center is more powerful. So next, it is a dual system of the government. What is this characteristic feature? We have a dual system of the government in federalism. There is a government at center, there is a government at state, and both are working at par, and both are working simultaneously. All right. And the last feature of federalism says that we have an independent judiciary. Why we have independent judiciary? We have an independent judiciary so that there should not be conflict between the center and the state. And this independent judiciary is there to settle the dispute. This judiciary has the power to resolve disputes between the central government and the state government on legal matters, about the division of power, or between the state government and the state government. Any dispute on under this federal structure between the center and the state, or state and the state, is resolved by this independent judiciary. And there is one more fifth point. It is the fifth point is every federal government has a written constitution. You have to add on here, it has a, so all these 5 points I want everybody to write it up. So it has a written, okay, every federal government has to have a written constitution. Is it clear, everybody? It's clear. So what is the basically character of this federal structure? First, I told you the meaning of federalism. Did you get that meaning? Everybody got the meaning? Got or not? Did you understand? Is there anybody who does not understand the meaning of federalism? Is there anybody who does not understand the meaning of federalism? Federalism means two sets of government, one at the center level, the other at the state level. So it can be of any kind. It can be, I think so, you have studied in your 10th standard, bringing together, holding together. Have you understood? Do you remember this in your 10th standard federalism? There are two different kind of federalism, that is holding together and coming together. Yes. Holding together means like in our country, when there are different states, because we have divided the whole country into different states. And why have we divided the country into different states? Because we want them to develop equally, because we have different religion, we have different languages, different basic culture. So we want them to equally grow, equally develop. So we have different states in our country. So that state get equal, because our country is very vast, has a vast topographical, geographical structure. So that's why we wanted to maintain a federal structure. So we are holding together. We are holding all the states together under one umbrella, that is central government. But on the other side, we have state government as well, so that which takes care of its state in particular, right? And central government takes care of the country as a whole, right? So this is called as holding together. And I gave you an example of USSR. USSR did not have a strong central government. It gave more power to the state. And what happened? It could not hold its states together. So when it could not hold its states together, then slowly and steadily what happened? There came a drift, a crack in these states, and slowly and steadily in 1991-92, it gave up. And what happened? the whole of USSR, a powerful country, a powerful continent altogether, this whole powerful country broke away into 15 countries. And see that in that 15 country, except Russia, many other 14 other countries are not even well-known countries. They are so small, so big, but their political structure is nothing known much. They are not developed. So people don't know much about it, but just Russia is flourishing. So that means the center was weak compared to the state. And on the other side, children, example of USA. USA is also a federal government. So, but they are coming together, federation. They are not holding together. It is coming together. Now, what is this coming together? Again, I think so. Your teacher might have taught you in 10th standard when you were touching this, I suppose. But I'll repeat it again. It says that coming together means, you know, America is such a huge, it is, no? So it also had different countries, different states. America had different states. American continent, it had different states. And those states were colonized by either Britain or France or any other powerful country of Europe. So all these states, can you imagine? All these states of Americas, not USA, was slowly came under the grip of these European countries, the Western world. And then what happened? They had to be colonized for years together. Slowly and steadily, these states, these countries started coming closer to one another and started deciding how to throw this foreign yoke out of their land. And when they slowly and steadily came together, all right, all these 15 all these nations, when they came together, their prime minister, their presidents talked to one another, because what president, prime minister, they were none, because they were already colonized. So when these people came together, they were able to throw this foreign yoke out of their land. They got freedom from Britain. When these people got freedom from Britain, they came to know that, oh, united we were able to do this. So after getting their independence, they decided that we will not go back to our as an independent country again. We will join with one another under one umbrella, that is called United States of America, USA, right? United States of America. Okay. So United States means they were different states, different countries. So they gave the name as United States of America. Okay. So now they said that now we have come together. So we will have elections and select one president of this USA. But we will have different PMs. We will not be, our state will be much stronger than the center, because if our state is not stronger, again we'll be colonized by one of the countries. So now they came coming together federalism. This is not holding together. This is called as coming together. So they themselves came together for their security purpose. They came together and then they became USA. And then they thought that we have to have one what do you say, capital of our country. Now who will be the capital of which state will be the capital of our country? So they decided a centered place, a place which will be good for the secretariat and good for everybody, for the meetings and anything, a center place. And they thought that Washington is the best place. Right? Now the question arises, Washington became a capital. Now Washington became capital of USA. Then they thought that the state it belonged to, the country it belonged to, they said कि हमारा land चला जाएगा फिर, किसी को क्या पता कि it belonged to my state. They said no, we will add up Washington, DC, District of Columbia. All right, a part of Columbia. So Washington remains a part of Columbia. Although it is a capital of USA, it remains part of Columbia. It is called DC. That's why the full name of, is anybody ask you which is the capital of USA, it is Washington, DC. Do you understand this? So that was
Yes,
a
ma'am.
coming together federation, and our countries holding together federation. All right. Now, right. So this thing, this part is clear to you. This part is clear to you. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
why did we decide about having federal system for our country? The thing is, why did we decide? We decided for democracy. Okay, it is fine. We decided for democracy, that is fine. But why did we decide for having a federal structure? That is the biggest thing. Why did we decide for having a federal structure? So during that time when our Constituent Assembly had joined together to make a constitution, drafting committee was making the constitution, the Constituent Assembly was planning about how the democracy would go about. There was so much to think about it, and then they decided that we have to have a federal structure. We have to have a federal, now try to understand this line carefully, federal framework with a strong center, right? What did I tell you? In USSR, the center was not strong. The center was not that strong. But we said we will have a federal structure with strong center,
Enter.
right? Strong center. Now, it says a strong center means, now the question arises, the reasons, right? So what was the reason? First thing, the circumstances prevailing during that time after partition, right? The how was the situation that time? The Hindus fighting against Muslim fighting against Hindu, and there were so many, about 500 and plus princely state which was merged in India. There was so much commotion, so much chaos. They were thinking if one person at the center will rule everybody, they will not be able to do justice with us. There was a kind of what you say, they were not feeling secure. Many of the states, especially the princely states, were not feeling secure about it, right? Not feeling secure. They were thinking maybe one religion might dominate the other. It can be one region dominating the other. So they were thinking that maybe we will not be an autonomous body. We will not be able to do anything about our area or our state. So it was decided that it was better, because that was a strong freedom struggle. Everybody had participated in that freedom struggle. There was irrespective of caste, color and creed. So it was thought that we have to give equal chance to everybody to make the rules and regulation, and to develop in their own manner under a strong center government. This you have to understand, under a strong center government. 141 page number, I think, so you can have something about it. So when you want to read, you can get something from there. So one thing is clear, the partition, during the partition, first point is clear. Second point, it says that we have to have a strong center government, a strong government with a strong leadership, a strong central government with a strong leadership. Because if the center is not strong, it's obvious that any time, because it was a newly found what do you say, a newly found freedom. So there can be that time also many state government, many princely states wanted to free themselves, right? Many princely states wanted to free themselves. So if the government would not have been strong, if the central government would not have been strong, so it was obvious that our country would have broken down into more pieces. As partition was a big example for us, but partition was done by the Britishers. Britishers had played upon our religion instincts, that is our religion, the Hindu and Muslim, and it played upon that. But the here the strong, we wanted a strong central government under the federal system. We wanted a strong central government under the federal system. So under this federal system, what happened, this strong central government worked nicely so that we will be able to take control of the entire country as a whole. Is it clear? Entire country as a whole. Okay. Now the third one was national security and integrity. Now after the partition, if we are standing high as India, as one democratic nation, so we have to prove our integrity in the world, that we are a one nation. So for one nation, it was necessary to have a, to prove our integrity and to have a national security. All right, to have a national, to prove our national, to control our national security, so that we are not able to play on others' hands. So people should not take advantage of us, right? So we, for that purpose, we wanted to have a strong central government. That was because of national security and integrity, right? And the fourth thing is central government to take initiative. Why we had federal structure? We had federal structure in the sense that when states are taking care of their own states development, at least center can take care of the, take big initiative for the whole country, right? If we didn't have federal structure, the central government would have been working for the states all the time. Who will take care of the country as a whole? Who will take initiative for the betterment of the whole country? So it was necessary that we need to have a federal structure. It was necessary to have a federal structure so that the central government is able to take initiative for the whole of India, so that we are not bothered about the states individually. That is taken care of the state government, right? And many initiatives were must, especially after our independence. Okay. And then next we says better competence of central government. So of course, when there is a federal structure, where there is a better federal structure, the central government can work for the upliftment and can carve its name in the world. It can do something for India as a whole. It can be a better competence government, because on the one side it has to be little higher, much better than the state government. So it will be compete with the state government. It will keep on doing better because the state government can keep a check on the central government, right? Keep a check on the central government. So it can give a, it will be better competence of central government if we have a federal structure. Otherwise, federal structure means just having one government at the center. A union government means just having one, and then what happened? Nobody is there to check, and nobody is able to compare. So they say, okay, central government is working well, fine. Now they know that state government, how are the state governments working? How is Gujarat government working? How is Andhra Pradesh government working? How is Karnataka government working? How is Jammu Kashmir government working? So there is a kind of a comparison with the central government at times, that it has to be, central government has to be much powerful than the state government. So it has to show that we are more powerful because we are at center. If central government is weak, it can hamper the progress of the country, and it can lead to the breaking of a nation as well, right? In some other way. So it is the central government, it makes the central government more competent, right? And then the last point here, it says that it development of the nation as a whole. The federal structure helps in the development of a nation as a whole. The whole nation develops, right? The whole nation. It is not a particular state develops. It is not a particular state that develops. The whole nation develops altogether, right? Whole nation develops. Now here, when you are studying about it, children, you have to study that you have to know, in federalism we talk about the power distribution. And the power distribution under Constitution of India is, we have a union list. Union list means all those subjects, like all those things on which the central government can make laws, right? And there is called a state list, where the state can make laws. And then there is one concurrent list. Concurrent list means a list are the things on which the center and the state both can make laws, right? So you have to study. I'll give you a picture later on. We'll discuss about this tomorrow. I will tell you basically what all, like, I'll give you an example. Like in center government, under central government, our union list, there is defense. Defense means it comes under the whole country's defense come under the central government, right? State government does not make law on defense, right? Defense personnel are a center government employee, right? State government list में एक चीज I'll tell you, and that is agriculture. State government can make laws or take care of agriculture, that independently take care of agriculture. And then there is a concurrent list. Under concurrent list, we can put education. So education is what? We have JK board also, we have CBSE also. So we have such kind of a thing. People who want to study under JK board can study under JK board. People who want to study under this one, under CBSE board, can take up CBSE board. So education is divided, taken up by both of them. That's called concurrent list. Okay. So that's all for today, because I have one class at 1:30. So any question, anything which you want to ask, you can ask here. You have to understand again what I taught you today, meaning of federalism. What is federalism? So you have to have good definitions. Write a short note on federalism, and then write definitions given by, quote somebody's definition, right? At least 2-3 definitions you have to write. First for paragraph on the meaning of federalism, and then few definitions you have to write, right? And then you have to tell us what is federalism, what are the features of federalism, right? And then we came to why we adopted the federal system in India after independence, right? We adopted democracy, we all know it, but why did we adopt the federal system? So that is the reason for it. Okay, so any doubts, anything you can ask me? Any doubts, children? Everything is clear? Good. Everything is
No,
clear?
ma'am.
Everything is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bacha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, darling. Okay. So tomorrow, what do you have? What is the test tomorrow you have?
Ma'am, English.